Donald Trump was having a psychotic meltdown late last night as he suffered massive losses. He suffered massive losses in the elections that took place yesterday across the United States. He suffered a massive loss in his purported negotiation with Prime Minister Carney. Donald Trump claimed he did a deal with Prime Minister Carney, only for Carney to say we actually don't have a deal. There was only a discussion about having further discussions. Donald Trump suffered a massive loss in the form of Iranian leadership just brutally mocking Donald Trump for claiming that he controls the Strait of Hormuz, or that the Strait of Hormuz will become a United States territory. And Donald Trump also suffering major losses in the form of a catastrophic economy that he's created with his disastrous policies. We're seeing the diesel crack price surge. We're seeing Treasury yields surge to record highs. We're about to hit $40 trillion in debt, 30 to 35%, perhaps even more, being caused by Donald Trump's reckless policies. Donald Trump is suffering losses because Donald Trump is a lifelong loser. Let's bring out the receipts and go piece by piece. Just a reminder, make sure you subscribe to the MeidasTouch YouTube channel. We're on our way to 7 million subscribers. So late last night, Donald Trump posted the following. A lot of great wins tonight. President DJT. What wins tonight, Donald? You mean like Pennsylvania State House District 12, where a Democrat flipped a seat that you won in 2024 by plus 18. This was a plus 19 swing in favor of a Democrat in Butler, Pennsylvania. You know Butler, right, Donald? Where you purported to have these medical records that you were going to release regarding the purported assassination attempt, but those records were never released, and all of the other records are heavily redacted, where you have destroyed the livelihoods of the people there, ripping away their health care, taking away their jobs. You made all of these promises to the people of Butler, to people throughout Pennsylvania, and through people throughout this country, only to lie and deceive and take for yourself and your right-wing oligarch friends as you cover up child sex trafficking rings. What were the other good results, Donald? Like how you endorsed Catalina Lauf from Illinois for Florida's 19th congressional district? Well, you endorsed her, Donald, but it seems like your endorsement is now the kiss of death. Yep, the carpetbagger Catalina Lauf lost the Republican primary to Jim Schwartzel, despite her being ultra MAGA and saying, Donald Trump endorsed me. She lost. What other great results, Donald, are you bragging about? Like how you endorsed Corey Mills for Florida's 7th congressional district, who lost to Ryan Elijah, another Trump endorsement, which led to defeat. But, you know, I understand why you endorsed Corey Mills. You're very similar people, right? Mills' campaign was engulfed by scandals, including a sprawling House ethics investigation, allegations of dating violence and sexual misconduct, campaign finance questions, and a reported DOJ investigation into his finance, although Mills denied the wrongdoing. Donald, you guys seem like you'd be friends. Part of the old Epstein class friendship, huh? Then you have Donald Trump and his sycophantic bootlicker MAGA Mike Johnson saying things were going so good. It was all going to be so great. But then the Iran war happened. This is what MAGA Mike had to say. Play this clip.
We set the table for the U.S. economy to take off like a rocket. If you look at it, we were doing that the first quarter of this year, and then we got into this conflict with Iran. Now look.
And as Donald Trump continues to suffer loss after loss, let's check in on those negotiations with Canada. Donald Trump posted less than an hour before his arbitrary deadline where he said, I'm going to impose 50% tariffs against Canada unless they make a deal with me. Donald Trump posted right before the deadline, I have paused the 50% tariffs against Canada that were scheduled to kick in tomorrow morning for a 3-day period, based on the fact that Canada and the U.S., subject to the finalization of documents, have a deal. The Great Keystone Pipeline, long ago killed by sleepy Joe Biden, may be awoken from the grave. It may be awoken, everybody. Thank you for your attention to this matter, Donald J. Trump. Now, even if there was a real deal, which there isn't, it's just so odd that the only way he can ever even try to claim credit is in attacking former President Biden or former President Obama. It just shows loser behavior. But of course, when Donald Trump posts it, nobody takes his word seriously. Remember in Jerry Maguire, they say, show me the money, show me the paper, show me the agreement, let me read it, show me the signatures. Or is this just more 90 deals in 90 days? I did a deal with Iran. Super seriously this time, I'm speaking to the Ayatollah. So what does Prime Minister Carney say? Is there a deal? Because Prime Minister Carney, Donald Trump is posting some AI memes at midnight of himself seemingly holding the Keystone Pipeline, and it says, completely free. Prime Minister Carney, you reading what I'm reading? This AI meme by Donald Trump says, Keystone Pipeline completely free, energy, jobs, America first. And then it says, buried by Biden, with a tombstone over there with the grave, as former President Biden is suffering from a horrific form of cancer. That's how Donald Trump is behaving right now. So, Prime Minister Carney, you got a response? Prime Minister Carney posts, my statement on ongoing Canada-U.S. trade negotiations. Right there. He didn't say my statement on a deal. Let's see what Prime Minister Carney posts. Over the last number of weeks, Canada has engaged in intensive discussions with the United States to address outstanding trade issues and deliver greater certainty and real benefits for Canadian business workers, farmers, and families. Substantial progress has been made, although there is important work still to be done. As this work is ongoing, the United States has agreed to postpone the implementation of its 50% tariff on a range of Canadian goods under Section 338 of the U.S. Tariff Act of 1930 until the end of day August 21st. While we continue this work, Canada remains focused on building a stronger, more independent, and more competitive economy at home. Signed, Prime Minister Carney. Do y'all get the pattern here? Mr. Liar in Donald Trump seems to be lying again, announcing a fake deal only for Prime Minister Carney to say, nope, it's just a postponement to allow future discussions, while Donald Trump says, I gotta manipulate the market. That's what I believe he's doing. Let's do a deal. We did a deal, everybody. I mean, it's just so utterly pathetic. And as I said at the outset, Trump is suffering losses in the form of what went down on election night, losses in the form of his fake negotiation with Canada. And by the way, you see how Prime Minister Carney points out that Trump's imposing it under the U.S. Tariff Act of 1930, like literally one of the factors that led to the Great Depression. But then he's also, speaking of, Donald Trump's also losing in terms of our economy. Okay? We talk a lot about gas prices, which is an important thing to talk about. Nationwide, the highest in American history right now, over $4 a gallon. The price of crude is over $90 a barrel right now. That's bad. That's bad. We shouldn't neglect to talk about diesel. Diesel, we're talking about what our farmers use. We're talking about freight. We're talking about the lifeblood of so much industry and agriculture that we rely on, right? Well, the average price right now of diesel, $5.47 a gallon. The crack price, $102 a barrel. Soaring diesel prices rip across U.S. economy. Rising fuel costs threaten new jolt of inflation ahead of November's midterm elections. It only takes one threat from a storm and things could get pretty ugly. There's potential for what we would call stupid numbers. $5, $6, and $7 a gallon. By the way, that's where I think the price of regular gas is going as well at this place, because as Donald Trump suffers loss after loss, his new plan as it relates to Iran is do nothing. Trump tries a new approach to the Iran war, disengage. On Tuesday, Donald Trump seemed to adopt a new approach. Trump told top administration envoys and officials, halt your conversations with Iran. Our plan is, let's do nothing. If we do nothing, that will strangle them. If we do nothing, that will strangle them. It will strangle the U.S. economy. Before you started this catastrophic and unlawful war with Netanyahu, the Strait of Hormuz is open. It was open, and now it is closed. Iran controls it. You can try to post your AI memes and say you own it, or you can lie about doing deals when you don't actually do them. But the fact remains, Iran controls the Strait of Hormuz. It is closed. Multiple tankers have been struck by Iran over the past week alone, okay? In the Bab el-Mandab Strait, as we reported. That's the Red Sea. The Houthis aligned with Iran. They struck a Saudi tanker the other day, and they continue to strike tankers there as well. And as the Financial Times reports, Iran has weighed attacking U.S. military targets in Europe. Should Donald Trump escalate the war? Details include Iranian forces have reportedly assessed striking U.S. assets in southeastern European countries such as Bulgaria. Cyprus, where a British airbase was struck by a drone in March, was also among potential targets for retaliation. Iranian forces have also reportedly considered attacking subsea fiber optic cables in the Strait of Hormuz in the event of an escalation. MB Ghalibaf, Iran's parliament leader, says, Americans think squeezing Iran harder will win concessions that were never part of the agreement. Bessent and Hegseth are way out of their league. Stop waiting for the clown crew to pull a rabbit out of their hat and clean up the mess that you made. Moshe Razai, an advisor to Ayatollah Mojtaba, posts, the gap between America's inability to reopen the Strait of Hormuz and its claim to own it is greater than the 7,000-mile distance between Washington and the Strait of Hormuz itself. Welcome to the post-American order in the Persian Gulf. Some dreams are too far from reality. Iran brutally mocking Donald Trump and what the United States has become under Donald Trump. Now, Donald Trump got into this catastrophic and unlawful war with Netanyahu, and we've seen Netanyahu's additional escalation over the past 24 hours in Syria. We've seen Netanyahu strike an air base close to Turkey in Syria, and then Netanyahu said the reason we're doing it is that we don't want Syria to have stronger ties with Turkey's military, so we decided that we were going to bomb and blow up a Syrian airport. Didn't give any warning to Turkey. For all we know, there could have been Turkish forces there, which could have led to a war potentially between Israel and Turkey. But this is in addition to Israel continuing to strike in Lebanon, killing many innocent people there. Netanyahu's regime in Israel refusing to enter into the peace plan or any peace plan regarding Gaza. The genocide continues. The slaughter continues in Lebanon. And then the U.S. and Netanyahu bragging that the United States sanctioned the president of the International Criminal Court and the lead prosecutor in the International Criminal Court who was prosecuting war crimes by the Netanyahu regime. So you have Rubio and Netanyahu bragging about going after the ICC president, Tomoko Wakani, and one of the main prosecutors for the ICC. A lot of winning by Donald. This is what Trump considers winning. Donald Trump says that he's no longer going to be supporting South Korea. South Korea's foreign minister meets with Wang Yi of China. A new China-led security, this is the video I'm going to do in 90 minutes, a new security umbrella under China forming with all of this utter weakness and losing by the United States. Let me know what you think. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 7 million subscribers Thanks, everybody, for watching. We appreciate you.
Hey, if you want the full story, how democracy got here and how we take it back, pre-order our new book, WTF America, today. Just scan the QR code or click the link in the description. Let's do this.